looking back to those would have been fear. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare. But when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try to if I bleed tonight, if I exist tonight, I don't have the time to fight. And if I wait tonight, I'm so tired tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home, when I'm gone. No way to go, no one that can see through at the side of the light. I can see my life is crap, I have to see them too. I just live into my world, far from the pain, the feel. Was out of reach of desire, was not aware of the start of hell. But when I stop to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among us.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am proud again to be here on the Locker Room Breakdown. As you see, there's no OND tonight, but that being stated, I decided to do a call and make a little favor of, hey, dude, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the room. One Mr. Chris Best, how you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty good. Breaking news off the top of the
Yes,
off the
let's
top.
do it.
We were supposed to have a third guest, but just got word not going to
Yeah.
be able to do that run in on this show.
Yeah, he messaged me earlier today saying the chances are pretty slim, but he
Mhm.
just confirmed that they are next to none. Not going to happen. That's okay. I appreciate the thought, and having you here is nice because we in the last 2 weeks, dude, we've done like almost
Every show.
every show together lately. Yeah, for
Yeah.
a week
Except
straight
for-
almost. The only one I wasn't on, literally last week, was Turnbuckle Talk.
Yeah.
That was it. I was on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We didn't do
And
anything
we-
Saturday.
And we still have one more show that we're going to be on together this week as well,
Yes.
and another one on the first.
So we're doing. You know what though? This is what I love about the Turnbuckle affiliation program. We could do collaborations, and it just is seamlessly a beautiful thing. Like, we have great ideas, great people to work with.
Mhm.
Again, I'm going to give a quick shout out. Hey, there's Chris Parrish. Whoop, sorry, I
Oh,
forgot you like.
I
to
think
do
we
that
clicked
stuff.
it at the same time.
We did. Hey, Chris Parrish, how's it going, my friend? But we have to give a quick shout out to this gentleman, because if it was not for him, we would not have all our information to do this show. Again, people, that's the Bulkster. Check him out on YouTube, Bulkster Show, and over there on the Tiki Taki Bulkster Show. He is the man behind the scenes to get this program going for everybody. All right, Mr. Best, are you ready to step into what happened last week and do a little review?
Yeah.
I did send them
this-
people. I did. Thank you to Bulkster. I did send Mr. Best all the information so that he has what I'm looking at as well. So we're going to start off. The show started with CM Punk responding to Seth Rollins, which ended up just turning into total anarchy.
I mean, if you look at the emotional feud that these two gentlemen have had since about what was it? It was like
Was it-
2012 that the Shield first came up, and they came up through Punk, and then of course
Yeah.
they talked about how Punk trained Seth Rollins, just how
Yes.
basically these two men, their careers kind of mirrored each other in the sense with, Punk having his success in ROH, Seth Rollins as well.
Yeah, they were like
Both Yeah,
the whole time,
both men coming up through the WWE's farm system, which for CM Punk was FCW. Seth
Yeah.
Rollins, it was NXT. That feels
Yeah.
weird saying that with
Right. Because you
realizing that
don't think like you feel like it's been around for longer than that, but it really hasn't.
yeah, NXT has actually been around since like 2010. Now that if you think about it,
Right. So like
almost 15 years.
but that's 15 years. It doesn't seem like that long for guys like you and I. We're like
Mhm.
in our 40s and we're both like, holy cow, only that's it. It's only been around for that long.
Yeah.
But you got to think all the talent that has come through that. Not only that, but OVW as well had a lot of WWE talent
Oh,
come through there.
that's right too. Punk spent some time in OVW as well under WWE's territory developmental system as well.
Yeah. I did not mean to give that a thumbs up. I was trying to move it. But so yeah, these two gentlemen, the fallout to that is the Raw general manager, again, he's being very animated lately. Like he's very like, just if you guys would have just shut up for 2 minutes and acted like professionals, this would have happened sooner. But no, now you got to
Mhm.
make me get angry and yell at you and give you the match instead of being professionals and asking me, you know?
Yeah, and that's of course one Adam Pierce making the match for the January 6th edition of Monday Night Raw. That Raw
Yes.
is shaping out to be like a friggin' PLE.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's just call it the first. I know you call them PLEs. I call them pay per views because I'm old school. Like I
Mhm.
have a hard time defining between the two. Um, let's just call the first Raw of the year a pay per view. Like let's just get
Mhm.
it done. Let's just call it a pay per view, a free pay per view, obviously because it's going to be on Netflix. Which I think everything's going to be on Netflix coming up. Even the
Up
PLEs, eh?
here, up here in Canada, yes.
And yeah, I'm sorry. I have to specify. I forgot.
Yeah.
In Canada, we get it all on Netflix. Everything.
In the US, they are only getting Raw on Netflix,
Raw.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because NXT and SmackDown have TV
They
deals
still,
that they have to
yeah,
fulfill.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that broke down in shenanigans. They got a match for the new pay per view, Raw 2025. The next match we have is Braun Breaker defeating Ludwig Kaiser to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Do you remember the days when they called that the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship?
I remember when Macho Man called himself the World Heavyweight Intercontinental Champion of the world, or
Right? Like
the
he just threw
heavyweight.
all the
Yeah,
titles into one name. I was like, I'm going with
or
it because
the
it's
heavy
Macho.
the heavyweight Intercontinental Champion of the world. That's what he would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but
How
wow,
did you
this
feel about
match,
this match? Yeah, how did you feel about
oh,
that match?
this match was just fire. It was just
I,
fire.
I can't disagree with you, bro, because Braun Breaker has obviously put his time in to learn this craft properly and not just rode on dad and uncle's coattails.
Yeah,
Like he made it a point, number one, not to use either last name or use dad and uncle as a stepping stone to say, listen, I'm a Steiner. Like, what do you think you're doing?
hmm
No, he literally built himself from the ground up. And you can tell it
yeah.
is
Well,
very apparent.
if you look at how the Steiners came into the business too, they were raised on the old way, man. They went and
Yeah.
they trained with some dudes that would have whipped your ass, and
Yeah.
that's the kind of training they sent Braun Breaker on. So
Right. And on a side note of the Braun Breaker, I heard his cousin, Scotty's boy, is supposed to be training at this moment to become a wrestler.
he said he's looking into it, but right
Okay.
now he's focused on his college football career.
Okay. So it's a thought at the moment. Like, hey,
Mhm.
if something happens, I can go into that if I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
Smart kid, I'll give you that. Um, yeah, this match, definitely both these gentlemen can put on a clinic. Breaker still blows my mind with how fast he runs those ropes.
And how cleanly he bounces off of them still.
Yeah, it's not awkward. It's not like, oh God, I think he's going to go through the ropes. It's like he just and off and like he's just floating into the ropes, and they're just like, I've never listen. I've never seen anybody run the ropes that tidy, that clean, that sufficiently ever to get that kind of back and forth motion. Like how fast, like that's crazy. Again, if he ever has an open challenge, I want that title. I will do my best not to die to get
We
that
got
title.
Parrish coming in to add some clarification, saying Scott said the plan is to follow the wrestling once college football is done, unless a pro career ensues.
I mean, is that really a bad thing to keep your options open like that?
No, it
Say,
really
listen,
isn't.
if it's not football, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that's a pretty sufficient backup plan. Considering wrestling runs deep in his veins.
Right.
Let's be honest. Where do we see Kaiser going from this match? Where do you think he ends up?
I think he still ends up in the Intercontinental title picture, but I don't know how at this point still, because I firmly believe he should get another shot somewhere down the line, you know?
Now, is that like after WrestleMania down the line, or do you think him and Braun Breaker end up not headlining, but being in WrestleMania for that title?
I don't know if it's WrestleMania or if you can maybe put the two of them at like Elimination Chamber maybe for the title, because I firmly
March.
believe I believe what Parrish has been saying, that if you're going to go with Braun Breaker at WrestleMania, why not give him John Cena? Give him like a big marquee match because of how big of a star Braun Breaker already is becoming.
Okay, so that statement being said, now my question would be, does Braun Breaker really need a John Cena kind of push? Do you feel?
If you want to get him to that upper echelon, yes.
So I mean, every time you say something, my question pops into my head. Does that mean you don't think he can make it there on his own?
No, he definitely could, but
Okay.
just having that victory over John Cena would be just
give him that.
just
extra.
just an excellent way to pad your resume a little bit, you know?
I mean, the kid's already got a pretty padded resume as far as I'm concerned. He's been pretty unstoppable lately. For me, what did it for me was when he had that feud with Jey Uso.
Yeah.
How collected he was, how to the point on his promo skills he is. He really does remind me of his dad and his uncle when he's on that mic.
Yeah. And
Like,
that's another
no bullshit.
option. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And that's another option I thought about too, especially with Braun Breaker. I feel like there's things between him and Jay that were left undone, and you can go back to that, you know?
100%. Because even Jay said, I got this to do. When it's handled, I'm coming back. And that's my title. So, I mean, there's your WrestleMania match if you have to. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have to. I would do it that way. I would leave John Cena to something else myself. I don't know what it is. I don't want to put Braun Breaker in basically what would be considered in my head a squash match. Because there's no way he's going to lose to John Cena, because John Cena is not sticking around long enough to really do shit for that title.
Oh, it wouldn't be a title match for Braun. At that point, I would think Braun would have already dropped the title. Or
so you're thinking he's going into Mania without it.
Or we could do the story where John Cena has never won the Intercontinental title and he challenges Braun. Because John has
forgot about that.
John has not ever won the Intercontinental title.
Okay, so this enhanced the question now. Do you see John Cena doing his farewell tour as the Intercontinental title holder,
No,
or just win it for
because
that little bit and then
yeah,
drop it
I don't
for
see
like
him.
the next pay
I
per
don't
view?
think John wins it at all. To be honest.
I mean,
Hmm.
okay, Triple H, that's you. Hey, I've never won the Intercontinental title. I would like to have a chance to hold it for a little bit. One pay per view, maybe two. Hey, could we do that? What would you say to him?
Well, who would you feud against first of all, coming out of the match?
I mean, he could list people like just say he's listed 4 people between this pay per view. I want to have feuds with these people,
I know that's literally what I'm
right?
saying. What I'm
Like,
saying to John Cena, though, is
no, I know, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm just like he could name anybody. Hey, I want to feud with Jimmy or Jay Uso. I want to feud with. Let's get Seth Rollins in there. Let's get Kaiser in there. I could have a good feud with Kaiser for what 2-3 months, and then lose the title to him. I would be behind that. No, we got Bulkster in here. Johnny
yeah, same.
versus Gunther. I mean, bro.
That to me is a SummerSlam match.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
what you do with John Cena at SummerSlam.
I really this last year, as far as I'm concerned with John Cena, is nothing more than him providing his services basically to enhance talent, to
Mhm.
make them look better. Really. Okay, so that was a good match. The next match we have is Zoe Stark defeating Raquel Rodriguez and Miss Carter in the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament. This is the first round. Wow, that was the first round. That was
Yeah.
a banger of a match. Who did you pick to win this match, though? I can't remember who you said.
I picked Zoe because Zoe's my girl. I like her in this. I like her. So,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
but that it was a good match, but that finish felt so awkward.
Right? It seemed, I don't want to say forced, but it seemed like it was rushed for some reason.
Mhm.
Now, have we heard? Because I know you got your thumb on that, media of WWE. Was anybody hurt in this match? Is that why it seemed like it was rushed?
No, it was all it was Zoe just messed up her finisher. Everything was fine coming out of that match.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's
So nobody was
and
hurt.
it was based off I believe it was Parrish who once again said it that Zoe sometimes rushes her spots, and
Okay.
ultimately, as you know, being in the ring, if you rush your spots, you're going
It
to
looks
mess up.
it looks bad. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've only ever had to rush because somebody was hurt and we had to literally wrap up the match to get them out of the ring.
Yeah,
And a couple times it was me because I was concussed so bad I didn't know where I was. And I was just like, just finish it. Like I couldn't even remember if I was scheduled to win the match, or I don't even remember who I was in the match with, to be honest.
yeah.
Like it was that bad. So I just wanted to clarify nobody was hurt. Good job, ladies. I wanted Raquel Rodriguez to win this just because my head was going ultimate storyline. Why not have Raquel Rodriguez with the women's intercontinental title, and you have Liv Morgan with the women's heavyweight championship title? What a power couple that would be with Dominic and everything they have going on.
Right.
That's where I was going with it. But again, that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, and at the same time, I see why they put Zoe over because the winner of that match advances to fight Dakota Kai, and we know the troubles that the Pure Fusion Collective have been having with Damage Control. So
Again, you got to play into the feuds that are kind of going on.
yeah,
And Raquel Rodriguez, yes, has feuds, but not with these particular women.
no, because right now
So-
her feud is with Rhea Ripley. So
Which that's one hell of that's going to be that's awesome.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this women's intercontinental championship?
I really can't wait to see who gets
See who
crowned
gets
it.
it.
I can't wait to see who the first number one contender for the title is going to be. So I'm very excited about this. And this is so weird because like several months ago when the rumblings of a women's mid-card title was on its way, I didn't like
Okay.
the idea. I will be the first to admit that. I didn't like the idea because I thought of it being too many titles on the WWE product. But as I see in how they actually handle title matches each month,
Right.
I'm all for it now.
It's a Bulkster coming in here saying Liv loses at Netflix Raw and Raquel wins on that Raw would be interested. I
Interesting.
think he means interesting is what he means. Would have been is what he means.
Mhm.
You know what? That would be irony, and it's in the best way ever. One loses it for the other one to gain one.
Mhm.
I mean, that's funny. Um, this match again, these women put on a display of athleticism, professionalism, and why they deserve the title of uh, professional wrestler and superstar, not just women wrestlers. You're
Right?
superstars, 100% superstars.
That yeah, again, that's why I was so glad. God, it's been almost 10 years now, but when Stephanie came out and said, you ladies are no longer divas, you are superstars."
Yep. I mean, it took a minute for that to catch on.
Hmm.
It like anything, people don't like change, especially when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
I find wrestling fans are the most hardcore, crazy about keeping tradition. But at the same
Yeah.
time, these women have earned that respect to be called superstars, not just women wrestlers, not just divas, not just what do they call them in TNA? What is the women stars
The
called?
knockouts.
Knockouts?
Yeah.
Even that to me, eh. I mean, they don't care. Women, they don't care. They get to wrestle. They don't give a shit what you call them.
Yeah,
Like
because
we get to wrestle.
because
Really don't care. Really.
over in TNA, long before like the WWE started the
Yeah.
Divas division,
There was the
TNA
knock.
was killing it with their women's roster. So
Yeah, they were. Uh, now my favorite match of the night. I broke my chair. I was so excited jumping around in my chair. I broke it. I knocked one of the bolts out of the bottom. So
Mhm.
if you see me, I lean this way. Whoa, that way too far. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna fall out. We had the War Raiders versus the Judgment Day for the World Tag Team Championships.
What a
Holy, yeah,
match.
you give me your thoughts. Yeah, let's do that first.
I was gonna say what a dominant performance by Eric and Ivar, but that really wasn't the case in this match. And that's what I like about watching Eric and Ivar. Yes, they're monsters in the ring, but they still wrestle kind of like they're regular sized people. Like they were taking bumps from JD and Finn just as much as Finn and JD were taking bumps from them.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the match. I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Judgment Day. This is what defense number 3 really. Like, come
Mhm.
on. Okay, they're not losing the titles. I feel bad for these guys busting their asses to get here, and then the match started, and they weren't dominant, but they weren't being squashed neither.
Yeah.
It was a very seamless back and forth. Not one team had the advantage. Not one team was disadvantaged. There was no shenanigans really that I could remember happening. It literally felt like a WrestleMania match for these titles on Raw. Like, I have a hard time remembering the night after that match. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like I think you do.
Mhm.
Where you've had one of those matches where it takes your entire attention, your emotions, everything.
Me, when I won the heavyweight title for one of our local companies that we used to have,
See, you know what I
that
mean?
whole, like, when I found out, because I found out like 2 weeks before the show that I was waiting, that I was, first of all, I was losing the company's tag team titles, and I was like, okay, what's the plan here? They're like, you're gonna drop the tag team titles because we want to put the heavyweight title on you.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay.
All right. Not going to argue with that one. So, no, Bulkster reminded me here. I forgot about this. Thank you, Bulkster, the man
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Damian Priest interfered. We knew that was going to happen because of, I mean,
Yeah,
his feud with Finn Balor.
So, I don't know if you consider that interference because all he did was Finn went to grab a chair to use it illegally, and Damian Priest literally just grabbed it and said, "No, you're not taking the chair. Get back in the ring." It was a distraction, yes. But to me, that wasn't interference. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't hit him with anything. He just distracted him and really kept the playing field level for the War Raiders. Because if that chair would have been introduced, we wouldn't have new tag team champions, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Or either that, or we would have had the same finish that Cody and Kevin had. So,
right. So, if you want to call it interference, by all means, that's your personal opinion. I personally believe or feel that it wasn't interference.
And let's just call a spade here, because this was Damian finally getting his revenge for what Finn did to him at SummerSlam.
It took a minute for him to get him back, but he got him back good. He really did.
Yeah. Because, I mean, for those who forgot, Finn interfered when Damian was defending the World Heavyweight title against Gunther.
Yes.
And that's how Gunther got the title.
So there you go. But I would just like to say congratulations to Eric and Ivar. You guys have literally busted your bodies to get where you are, and you deserve it. So
I really can't wait to see what their first title defense will be. See, that's the thing I like about new champions is I'm already like,
who's the anticipation of what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to put them against? Who? Commander Data, you're booking the talent right now. You have your new world champions, the War Raiders. Who do you put them against first? And I'm not just saying Raw. Let's say you have the entire roster.
Okay, that makes it easier because of the trade window that's happening right now. But the Creed brothers.
Dude, that's who I was going to say. That's literally who I was going to say. Who better to give a shot at those titles than the Creed brothers right now?
Bulkster is asking, where's Valhalla? Valhalla is currently with child.
Is she? They just had the kid, so she's taking care of the kid. Yeah. So I'm gonna pop that up so everybody sees it. Just she's with their kid, and she's loving every minute of it.
I gotta wonder if they do bring her back, does she keep the Valhalla gimmick, or does she just go back to being Sarah Logan with the War Raiders?
She goes back to she has to recreate herself too, because you can't be, because they were the Viking Raiders, right?
When she was doing the Valhalla gimmick, and that was really cool.
You can't leave her as Valhalla because they're technically not the Viking Raiders anymore. Mm-hmm. They're just the War Raiders now.
Because I would bring her back and put her back in the corner of the War Raiders.
Yeah, for sure. Oops. Okay.
AOP is a good choice too, Bulkster, actually, given what they're doing with the Final Testament these days.
You know what? Yes, but not right this minute. That's kind of you got to build up to those guys.
Yeah, because they've only had the one. To me, it's the only major victory they've had. But when they defeated the Wyatt Six just a couple weeks ago,
I mean, and if you're gonna, that is something you would build those both teams, the War Raiders and the APO. or AOP or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
You got to build them both up just a little bit more. I mean, the War Raiders are already up here. You got to bring these other guys up to their level, have lots of competition to get there, and then have them have their big giant like 2 pay-per-view feud. You know, that's what I would do personally. But what do I know, right?
Right.
Before we have the said thing, I just want to show everybody what's going on here on Turnbuckle Studios with the Turnbuckle Studios affiliation program. So if you guys take a minute here, before we go on to the preview of what's coming up, let's take a look at this and we'll be right back.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle affiliation program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we get a variety stream with the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
There you go, everybody. That is exactly everything that goes on here on Turnbuckle Studios with our affiliation program. Yes, there you go. So affiliationprogram.my.canva.site. Check that out, please. You have any questions, that's where to ask them, and we will gladly help you in any way we possibly can. Yeah, I mean, it's a good program. What do you think about it, Mr. Best? If he's got a burp. Or his
No. Things went a little weird on my end here, so I'm just double checking everything. No, the affiliation program, fantastic stuff, man. I mean, like,
right.
Anytime that we've had like an idea for a show, we always present it to like if I had an idea, I'd bring it to the 4 of you guys, and then Carl would say something like "run with it." Parrish would help me break down a little bit, you know. OMD would toss me some ideas for like a thumbnail, you know what I mean?
He's good for that stuff, yeah. Like let's for example, the PlayStation Showcase. I remember you and I having a 2-hour talk on that show.
Yeah.
Because you weren't sure if you wanted to do it, and I actually came to you being like, "Hey, dude, do you want to come on my show and talk PlayStation stuff and maybe do a couple games for us every now and then?" And that's when you were like,
and I was like,
had the idea, and I was just like, "Fuck, let's do it. Put it in the Boar's Nest. Just do it."
So, and I kind of greatly expanded on that idea because I'm like, you know what? I want to play the game showcasing the monthly games, but then there have been months where it's like I get games that aren't streamable in my personal opinion. So I'm like, okay, well, let's dig into the PS Plus and see what I can find there to play.
Exactly.
You know?
It's kind of where the idea was like, I want to do this. I want you to do this for me because I know PlayStation's a big thing, and we wanted to expand. We didn't want to do just Xbox. So OMD and I had come and talked to you about it, and that's when you were like, "Well, I've already got the idea. I just don't." And we're like, "Hey, we'll help you get it started." And after that, it's your baby, really. You do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
And you've expanded it so much that it's become an awesome program to watch on Wednesday nights, to be honest. So yeah, make sure you go to affiliationprogram.my.canva.site. Again, please check it out. It's definitely worth it. Is that on here or no? Yes, there we go. All right, my man, are you ready to do the preview for tonight? For the Raw? Oh, I hope Chris didn't just lag out. Give him a second, people. He's lagging. Oh, it's Mr. Parrish. Holy cow. You scared me, dude.
Well, I figured if you got a leg, I'll come in and help you out.
Okay, so can we do that? Is
We
that
can
better?
we can't do that. I mean, right now, if you're going to do that,
Well,
yeah.
let's just go back to that now.
Okay.
I didn't realize he was lagging out.
It's all right. He'll
All right.
be back in.
Mr. Parrish.
Gotta save the day.
Speaking of saving the day, my friend, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go copy. And then we're going to go here. I'm going to send this to you. So you have what I'm looking at. There you go, people. I just sent it to him.
You don't have to send it to me. I call it in the ring, brother. Call it in the ring, brother.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the first preview, and this is in no particular order, not start to finish. It's just out there.
Yeah.
Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio. I know we've seen this match before, and Dominic won. I mean, with the little shenanigans in there. But how do we feel about this match?
Well, I mean, I think it's a rematch, right? This is the exact match that Dom had to get his title shot just about a month ago.
Yep.
And then he, with the help of the Judgment Day, defeated Damian Priest. So Damian Priest has a little bit of a revenge to get back. Plus, he has a statement to make to Finn Balor, as he cost Finn Balor and JD McDonough last week the tag team titles. So
Yeah.
this is his opportunity now to stick it into the Judgment Day just one more time. But you have to think, okay, is Finn far behind? Is Finn going to do something to get involved? What
Right.
is Finn, and even JD McDonough and Judgment Day as a collective, what are they going to do in terms of Damian Priest? Because you know there's something in.
And what kind of backup does Damian have? Do we see the newly titled tag team champions come out and back him up if there's interference on Dominic's behalf? You know what I mean? Like,
well, you have to think Rhea Ripley will be there to do anything with Liv or Raquel.
Yeah,
and then the War Raiders have to be there for
the other three.
Yeah, and then who knows if there's another person there?
Yep, right. Who knows what kind of shenanigans can happen with this match?
Maybe even R-Truth.
Could you? Oh, I love that you bring this guy up. I really do, Parrish, because we know history with Damian Priest and R-Truth. Could you imagine now if R-Truth comes out and saves Damian Priest for some odd reason? Like, what do you do if you're Damian Priest at that point? You got to thank the guy.
I mean, I think they're good now.
Yeah.
They've had a couple backstage segments since Damian Priest got the axe from Judgment Day. So,
Okay,
I mean, I think they've left the past in the past, and they're worried about the future. And the future right now for Damian Priest is trying to get back that heavyweight championship, but also right now to get some closure with the Judgment Day and Finn Balor. And right now it starts with Dominic Mysterio.
He's got to work his way through the Judgment Day at this point. Best, you're back with us, my friend. So who do you think takes away the win in this match?
I'm going to lean towards Dom actually getting the win on this one because of, again, as Parrish had pointed out, Finn and JD are going to want to look for their revenge. And who knows if the War Raiders are even going to show up to help out. We really can't tell at this point, but Dom with his sneakiness could pull off the win here.
You think Dom's going to pull out? And here's the thing for me. I'm going to get Parrish's opinion in just a second. I know he's itching at that mic right now. I've been open about how I feel about Dominic Mysterio from the beginning to now. I pull for Dominic Mysterio, but at the same time, I think Damian Priest needs to set that picture for Finn Balor that he's not just a pushover. So I think, in my opinion, Priest is going to come out hot, heavy, hard, and just, it's not going to be a squash match by no means, but he's going to be pushing Dom hard. Parrish, I know you're itching at that mic, my friend. Give us your opinion.
Well, Well, I mean, I think both men have something to prove, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I think, yeah, like, I mean, a lot of us want to see Dom take it to that next level. Um, but I think we all understand that right now, Damian Priest is the right now star. Dominic Mysterio is the future star, and he's still there. What Dominic Mysterio needs right now is his own stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, he's fighting Judgment Day battles, Finn Balor battles. Yes, it's connected because Damian Priest was part of the Judgment Day, but right now, it's the focal point is not Dom and Damian; it's Finn and Damian. So really, Dom is right now just a means to an end. So right now, I want to see kind of something develop. You've seen kind of Dom being a little bit more adolescent with his actions within the Judgment Day. He's kind of like that teenager, kind of going whatever, and kind of being a little rebellious to the group.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if we see kind of more development when it comes to that, because I think when you take Liv Morgan away from Dominic Mysterio, you edge closer to the fans accepting Dom. But now because he's there with Liv, and Liv is against Rhea, he ain't gonna be accepted by the crowd because you're just not gonna win that battle when it's against Rhea Ripley.
No.
But I think a lot of people are really coming into the whole I want to see more from Dominic Mysterio. A lot of people were very impressed with his performance against Gunther. They want to see where this is built, if he is building off that.
Where it's the next step for Dominic. And Bulkster saying Dom for the win, I think. I mean, right. It's, yeah. And either one of these men could win, really, when it comes down to it. But the storyline, to me, would dictate Priest is going to win. So our next match was the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament match.
Yeah, and it's going to be Natalya and Alba Fire, and we don't know who now because Kairi Sane's been taken out of the match.
Right, yeah. We seen that last week where she got absolutely the snot kicked out of her.
Yeah, and a weird little photo that came out of it, though, was a kind of a distant shot, and we saw Dakota Kai kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very weird. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see more into that or come into that, or if that was just a whoopsie.
Just happened to be there at the wrong time kind of thing.
It was just that wasn't supposed to happen in terms of taking that photo. But
did we get any news related to how her hand is? Because I know they put her hand in one of the things and slammed it closed on it. Like, did she break her hand, bruise it? Did we find that out yet?
I didn't see anything, but I'm sure we'll get some more tonight on it.
I'm sure we will. I was just kind of curious if they had leaked any, because I know this for a fact that Triple H, and I love you for it, my friend, is really heavy on the kayfabe right now. Like, there's no leaks for nothing. No, like, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
So
no, nothing yet. So it's all we can say is just, she's out. Somebody's going to be in. I think obvious answer could be Io Sky, but I mean, right now
they're not telling us nothing.
Yeah, right now there's nobody that we know of.
Literally, we could go, okay, who's been in this tournament, or who hasn't been in this tournament but has been in, like, say, the women's U.S. title tournament that was eliminated that could get shifted to have a shot at this thing that could get thrown in there. Like, the possibilities are really endless at this point.
Well, and then you have to think, okay, is there somebody coming back? Like we heard rumors of Charlotte being imminent, right? But I don't think we're gonna get anything of that stature now, especially with Netflix January 6th right around the corner, with the Rumble right around the corner. I think we're gonna get somebody more stationary on the roster. And either you're going to have, I think, that person win or Natalya wins. It's one of the two in my eyes.
Yeah. First off, damn it, Bobby. What's going on, Bobby? How you doing, my friend? And his idea, maybe someone like Sonya Deville?
And then this is why I don't think it's going to be anybody in the Pure Fusion Collective, because
No, 'cause
I don't
they're-
think Adam Pearce is going to reward anybody from the Pure Fusion Collective for taking somebody out. So I
Right.
think in that way, it's okay to axe anybody, like whether it's
Yeah.
Second Chance or Shayna. Zoe's already advanced. I don't think it's going to be Sonya. I think it's you took them out. There goes any opportunities for you.
your opportunity to possibly get back into it.
Right.
Either way, our thoughts, prayers, and good wishes go out to the young lady that can't be in this match now. I'm hoping Natalia wins this because
Yeah,
she's my girl.
I kind of want it to be Nadia as well. And again, I'm leaning towards because of what Parrish's theory on the Intercontinental title. And it's not a theory; it's a fact. But the Hart Dynasty with the Intercontinental title, it would just be so fitting to put the Intercontinental title on Nadia as well.
My thought is that as well. And I mean, she doesn't have to carry it for a long time because just give her a decent run with it, right? And then that's one more heart to add to that list of people that have earned that right to carry that title.
Mm-hmm.
And she would be the first woman to carry the title. So, I mean, how sweet would that be?
Yeah, especially when it's the first woman to graduate from the dungeon, first Intercontinental Women's Champion. I mean, the history would be set. It's just the more you think about it, the more you're like, sadly, this might be just too much
Good to be
about
true.
it might be too much about the women moving forward and not about the women of the past. Right now, I think Natalia is more of the women of the past, not women of the future.
Okay.
But
Okay.
maybe one day, and I think it would just be an amazing moment if yeah. And I could be wrong.
It would be nice to see Natalia win it. Again, nostalgia, have her have a title for, because God knows, when's this woman going to retire, right? Like, I would like to see her carry a decent title. It doesn't have to be the heavyweight title or the WWE women's title, or I would like to see her carry that Intercontinental for a little bit before she retires, honestly. That is going to be either way. We don't know who the third person is. There's been rumors. We really don't know because, again, Triple H is keeping this close to his chest. The next match we have is Chad Gable versus Tozawa. Parrish, what do you think?
I think this is a match scheduled and designed for Chad Gable to get a win back under his belt. I think he needs one. I think his stable needs some momentum. I think they've been kind of in a state of flux. And I think right now the American Alpha, American Babes, whatever they want to be called, I think they're there as just kind of we'll help people here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's one of those matches where it'll be good. I like both. It's just the story for me has been worn out. I'm not invested anymore. I want to see what's next for everyone. But,
Okay.
hopefully they just put on a good match because they are both incredibly talented.
Great. Best, where are you going with this?
Yeah, we talked about possible contenders for the titles. I'm ready for Otis and Tozawa to sort of move on as well. We talked about the Creeds going after. I'm ready for Tozawa and Otis to move on from this. Chad Gable's going to take the win as well. It's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah.
But just like Parrish, I need these two stables to be apart from one another.
It's becoming old news at this point. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to.
But I ain't tripping.
Woo! That was loud. Not to speed it up, but we need to speed up because we're getting close to end time here. The next match, Dexter Lumis, holy crap, is taking on The Miz.
This is going to be my match of the night.
Okay.
Because I love me, I love all this Bray Wyatt stuff, and I'm really looking forward to this. So
Right.
Parrish?
Yeah, I think this match is going to be very interested. Could it be the match of the night? Yeah. I still think that the women's triple threat is right up
I
there.
think so. Yeah.
I think Dom and this is a very not a very star-studded episode of Raw, but it's one you don't want to miss with the action. I'm very interested to see this Dexter Lumis kind of in the ring. I'm curious to see kind of the developments of the Miz and the Final Testament and kind of what this does moving forward, because I am very much intrigued with kind of the Wyatt Six and the Final Testament. Still, it's not over, so let's see kind of where this goes. Yeah, I think Karrion Kross and Uncle Howdy probably have something to do for this match.
Yeah. So real quick here, we got basically just segments after this. I don't know where they're going to end up, but we have Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. They're going to appear. I think they're just going to get booed out of the building again.
Yeah.
It's kind of been their thing since they've turned on Big E, which isn't bad because they're building some big heat on themselves, which is good. Good for them. The next segment is Seth Rollins segment. Again, I think it's just going to break down in shenanigans because, CM Punk is going to...
This is a continuation. It's a sit-down interview with Jackie Redmond.
Oh, so it's an actual interview. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, who knows what's going to happen there. The last one that we have on here, real quick, is Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn discussing their situation.
Yeah, it's Drew McIntyre making an appearance, but again, there's speculation that Sammy's going to get involved. Maybe Jay gets involved as well, because it's obvious that they're not done with Drew, even though Drew might be done with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and you got to take into account that Drew McIntyre has stated he took out Jay. So if Jay was to appear, he would have revenge on his mind. Sami Zayn still wants to get some revenge for what happened at Saturday night's main event. They don't want Drew McIntyre to get anywhere close to his goal, and that is trying to take out everyone from the OG bloodline. So,
right.
Yeah, and right now, and it's very intriguing because right now you have Drew McIntyre on a mission, on a prerogative to end the bloodline, and right now I think you can make an argument that he might be one of the most compelling assets right now in WWE.
Drew McIntyre is definitely a man on a mission right now, and I would not want to get in his way, period. Because he has no qualms about beating somebody down that gets in his way. So, yeah. I can't wait. Again, like you had stated, Parrish, it's not a star-studded program tonight, but the way Raws have been going, you don't want to miss any Raw, no matter who's there or not, because you never know who's going to show up on Raw.
Well, and this is also a great opportunity for the people who maybe kind of had to take a backseat to the quote-unquote stars that aren't on this show. And they now have an opportunity to raise their stock and become even bigger stars and to be, in the future, that kind of person. Right. So, especially with Raw moving to Netflix in just a couple weeks.
Where we go back to...
Yeah, and
3 hours.
This is where you got to make an impression, and if you make an impression, the Rumble's right around the corner. WrestleMania's right, not just right there too. So this is go time.
This is definitely as they've stated in past. This is where the road to WrestleMania starts. January 1. But I'm agreeing with you, tonight is the night that you need to step your game up and bring it. Because if you don't get noticed and you get left behind. So let's see what happens tonight on Raw, gentlemen. Because we will be stepping over to Mr. Best Show here. The Raw Patrol.
Well, it's kind of everyone's show. Bubba.
Yeah.
I know. I like to just
But Patrol is like the whole thing,
yeah.
whole team.
All right, gentlemen.
So,
Again, I just want to give a quick shout out to about OMD. Go to his link tree. It's OMD Show. Definitely check that out because that guy is everywhere, man. He is crazy on this podcast goings right now. And don't forget again, the man behind the scenes here on this locker room breakdown, the Bulkster. Check him out on YouTube, Bulkster Show, and over there on TikTok, Bulkster Show as well. Thank you, Bulkster, for everything you do here with us. Chris Best, real quick, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at my link tree at Chris_Best83. Where you can see me next is in about 3 minutes as we do the Raw
Yep.
Patrol.
Definitely. Mr. Parrish, really quick there.
Yeah, come on. You can check me out the Raw Patrol in 3 minutes, and if you're checking my my Instagram live and X account, you can check out that as in full light. So
There you go.
stay on Turnbuckle Studios on Twitch and the YouTube because we'll be
We'll be right
we're
back.
not going anywhere.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chicklets of all ages, please stay tuned on Turnbuckle Studios because we will be right back after this brief break.